I don't know how to survive in the woods.
We'll just go.
Wow.
Thanks for being here,
That
man.
that was so wholesome. What the hell?
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Who knew?
Dude, okay. Can I first start off by saying you guys live up to the hype? Entirely, because we had tried to line this up before, and I was like, okay, did they hate me or very good? Because I gotta fight that all the time. I'm just do they hate me or is there a chance that they just didn't pass the message along? And I messaged you. You guys, I gotta 1 second. Can I pull this? Can I pull this video
You're
up?
a prince. I'm gonna put it here so people can see it. But
okay.
I wanted to give you flowers on this interaction too, and I'm glad we're starting with it right before even the intro, because we will do the intro, but you're getting this before the intro even.
Pre-intro.
Nice.
You are a prince, man. You are such good energy. You bring the most important key. You had patience. You show up like a winner. You interact with positivity, and it is constantly, no matter how many people who achieved whatever we get to hang out with, you have the number one most important thing, and that's a positive mental attitude. This is across all fucking books. I'm gonna start you with the flowers, bro, because I appreciate you complimenting us, but I've been waiting this in the chamber. When he knows this, I'm like, I'm gonna blow a load of love on this guy, because your attitude your attitude with setting this up is, I found myself getting disappointed in the scenario. So I'm sorry, you can keep gushing on us, but I had to tell you, you're nothing short of a fucking gentleman and prince.
Well, god damn. All right, look, you guys.
I was not gonna be that nice.
You know how to, Winnie, look, let the guy gush. That was so nice. Like, you don't gotta disarm that. That was awesome.
Come on.
It really was.
Look,
I feel big inside.
Wow.
I feel like you just hyped both of us up.
Take your one hit. Guys,
Thank you.
ready?
Yes.
Welcome to Discipline Stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Look deeper.
We're here to grow.
And welcome back to another episode of Discipline Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today...
Well, you've already got this intro, but our next guest is a Toronto comedian who does good sketches, but even better stand-up. His special is coming out. We're going to talk about his podcast. Please welcome Mac Sheldrick.
What up? Yo, sick. Guys, thank you so much for having me. I'm
Good to see you, man.
I feel my body is vibrating right now.
This is good.
This is a good start.
This is good energy.
Yeah.
This is great energy. I've never seen a podcast be done in an art studio. This is like, what's the guy's name? Rob. Shouts out. This guy, what a gem to have all this set up here. This is really nice. And I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you. I also like how you use my Instagram bio. Good sketches, better stand up. Nice. A nice little log line while I was on Adderall.
I thought it was good.
What best encapsulates me? Good sketches, better stand up.
Do you fuck with Adderall?
I used to. I try to avoid it now just because the high of it, and then I try to not fuck with anything that ruins my brain chemistry on the off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like anything that will inhibit my dopamine or like any productivity when I'm not on it. Like if I'm forced to need something. Really gotta fucking be careful with that.
I feel that. That's why we love mushrooms so much.
Mushrooms are great.
They'll tell you to get the fuck out.
I've been doing mushroom microdosing for 8 years now.
Let's go, buddy.
Oh,
Is this a consistent daily practice? Or?
I do. I've changed my routine multiple times. I even in the last little bit, I kind of took a tolerance break for a month. Nice. But I usually do 1 day on, 2 days off.
Oh, cool.
And just Paul Stamets.
I agree.
What's his name? Paul Stamets.
Is that his method?
Is that the ratio?
That's his protocol.
0.1, 0.2?
0.2, sometimes 0.25, sometimes 0.1. Right now it's 0.1 just because I'm trying to be okay.
I love
maybe
0.1.
Maybe I was getting high.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't so much a microdose.
Yeah. 0.2, you're high.
Yeah.
I feel that.
If I was, 0.2, 0.25, especially if it's a different strain, like penis envy, oh my God.
Yes.
I'll take 2 of those doses and I'll be to the moon. Yeah. And then, man.
I'll just be crying.
Have you done mushrooms and comedy before?
No.
No? Oh.
Dude,
Haven't
I can't
you been-
even. That induces anxiety right now.
Look, it's
No.
I've done it too much. I'll say that. But it does give you this how should I put it's not
The
anxiety.
oneness?
It's not truly okay. I've done a show one time where the entire audience was on mushrooms.
Hey.
Oh.
Which that was such a good vibe.
That's
because you can
groovy.
feel everyone's in the same pocket. They're all on the same wavelength the whole time. So there's no stragglers. It's a very unified front, and the comics are having such a good time. The vibes are great.
I love that.
I have also done mushrooms and acid on a oh man.
We love that mix. We did that at Camp Canna. That
Oh.
was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
We talked in some deep ways.
I did acid on a podcast one time, and
Yep.
then I forgot that I had 3 shows that night.
Ah.
That one's tough.
Were they all booked?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And so it's
How was it?
okay. This is the problem. Okay, because there's the whole changing of environments that you go through
Yes.
with acid, where it's
Yeah.
like going from inside to outside, then going from green room to stage.
You gotta meet all these spaces
yeah.
like intimately, basically.
And the problem is that when people are in that comics are different when they're in that performative space, when they're about to go on, they have, especially when you're on acid, you're like you're sensitive to like that vibe of just like, oh, they're very needing for validation right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. I can't be in this environment right now, but I
Psychedelics show
can't
too much.
leave.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't leave. I can't go anywhere. But me and my buddy,
That's a trip.
my buddy had he had done acid too, and he was like, I'm just gonna riff. Bombed so hard.
Oh, no.
I was like, okay. I made a game plan. I was like, all right, I'm gonna write down this set list. I'm gonna tell the audience that I am on acid.
Nice.
And just be like, look, full upfront honesty. Now, this isn't what I normally do, but tonight, what you are going to get to see is that I'm a good comic. I do this pretty regularly, but I've never done this on acid. But you're gonna see me try to get my favorite jokes out while I'm on acid.
Oh, that's
Are you
good.
guys okay with that?
Get him on board.
Yeah, and then,
yes.
of course, obviously,
Yeah.
the audience is like, fucking hell yeah.
Sure you on.
And those sets were, I even have a few clips of me doing that. I did one where, and the audience is on board. It's great.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's what you want.
It was a good vibe, but then you come off stage and then, God, just the waiting between everything.
Yeah.
Like,
The cue in life. That's what we talk about. It's like between time and space, it's your job as human to manifest said scenario that is imagined and planned for.
damn, dude, that was, what a,
You know,
that's quite the quote.
Yeah, just like you have to be there. Thank you. You have to take yourself, and people, especially on Instagram, only see the highlights on
Yeah.
stage stepping on. They don't see like the Uber there or the drive there, or that you stepped in something, you had a rock in your shoe, you're on acid, you got to take a shit. All sorts of different things that they don't see. You have to
Yeah.
deal with that kind of manifestation cue. It's like being patient and active at the same time.
There's
I
a lot
feel you.
there's a lot in the background that they don't know. They don't know that every time I'm on stage I have to shit. They don't know that.
Dude, isn't it interesting? Right before you're about to go on, it's like, oh, it's
Even when you don't eat for hours before.
where did this come from?
What is happening?
Do you use psychedelics for healing purposes?
Yes, definitely. I usually get. I don't know. I can't afford therapy. Can't afford prescriptions. But I
Good.
can afford $60 for over the course of like 2 months.
Right? Mushrooms, right?
It's pretty
Yeah.
great. Even though like on my off times, I just feel better on it without it. It's even if it's like dialed back dosage, I don't even know if it's a placebo effect, but it's just generally I get depressed. I get
man.
bummed out, and then when I'm depressed, I'm not as productive.
I hear ya.
And then I get more depressed because I'm not as productive. And even when I'm like putting out as much as I can, like being like I look back on like what I used to do like 5-6 years ago, the output that I was hitting, and it's probably ramped up like 5 times that amount.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And still, even now, like if I'm in a bad headspace, I'll still be kicking myself in the ass. Just
Never
being
good
like,
enough.
ah, God. But that's that perfectionism.
Well, no, we talk about it all the time. It's the internal self-dialogue of just like, what you assume yourself to be. The affirmation is so strong, anything you say after I am.
Yeah.
And if you're just going through a fleeting state where you feel like you're not achieving what you planned or set out to, you're like, I am, and then you fucking put that on yourself, and like it should tie back to your character. When you're just going through a state right now, maybe you need a rest, maybe you need to recalibrate, maybe you just literally aren't inspired, so you're not, and that we let it compound, and like, it's always up to us here, I think, to kind of find gratitude. Me and Win have been going through that lately. Like, how can we put this? Year started off strong, bit of a financial lull in spring, and just like I've heard it from a lot of people, it's like, this does not determine my value.
Of course.
Just because, like, you can be sitting on whatever, sitting on whenever, but just like, don't let, I think, the reflection of what you think you need to have reflect your true value, because that's your like core. Your love is to give and to catch inspiration again. I feel
Very
you
much
on that shit.
You're not your problems.
I have a question. Does mushrooms help you? Do you still feel those dips of depression while you're on a program of mushrooms? And
yeah, sometimes.
And then or like I was gonna say,
Sorry.
or do you? No, that's okay. Are you more easily able to like talk yourself up the emotional scale on mushrooms? What's happening, do you think?
I genuinely feel, okay, so I feel like it allows you to be more mindful of like why you're in this situation. Like, why are you feeling like this? It's not necessarily that it prevents it, but it definitely, it's like, okay, sometimes when you get into a depressive state, you're just like, oh man, it's because I'm a piece of shit. And it's like, what an absolutely not productive way to look at it. Like, it's okay, it's not that. It's never
definitely not that.
Never that.
It's not that.
Like, so it does generally be like, okay, well, have you been getting up at a good time? Have you been productive? Have you been actually making a checklist, crossing off the things?
Have you been eating well?
Have you been actually have you been sleeping? Have you been eating a block of cheese over the course of a week? Like, have you been?
Yo, I've done that.
Me and Tisha, my wife went away for the whole week, and we had went grocery shopping, and we got this big brick of like Kirkland marble cheese.
Like gold.
I've been just eating that. It's so bad.
We got the Gouda one, the big red one, and I'm about halfway done. It's been about a week and a half.
Cheese is so good, and it gives you, I think, quick energy. So
I think it does too. It's very dense.
It's dense, yeah.
But more to your question, definitely it tunes me. It fine tunes me to like why I am feeling this way.
Yeah.
It's like, what could it be? And it's usually comes back to gratitude, like you were saying, where it's like, you just got to be like, man, there's such a perspective that we have where it's like, okay, like there's times where I'll get bummed out because a video I spent like 10 hours on doesn't do what I wanted it to do. But it's like, you can't also put that type of you can't put expectations on anything.
Well, also yet it hasn't done what you wanted to.
True.
Yet.
Like,
but still, like that immediate. I mean, comedians get immediate gratification or not. But I think a lot of the reason that keeps comedians pursuing the craft is that gratification that you're getting from the audience immediately.
Absolutely.
You're like, fuck yeah,
it's
you
the dopamine.
You like what I said.
Yeah, the immediate validation. Just like,
So then I think it's really hard to translate that online because it's almost like, creating sketches too is like really, really, really hard and takes a long time, and the reward that you get sometimes is doesn't feel worth it at times, especially if you're feeling emotionally low.
Usually when I get bummed out about when a sketch doesn't do what I want it to do, it's usually because I'm focusing on the outcome, and it's never about. Like, if I ever lose my mindset usually is just like, ever since I've been in Toronto, it's like, I just want to make funny shit. That's it. And
live your purpose.
I'll flip-flop, and it'll be a roller coaster where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the outcome, I just love the process. And then sometimes it'll dip down, and it usually comes back to like comparison, like, we're friends with all our friends online. They're all doing their own things. Some people put a lot of effort into their stuff, but some people put a little effort into their stuff, and it varies. Like the outcomes vary constantly, and if you're putting so much effort into something and you look at someone else's and they're just talking to a camera, you're like, fuck.
Why do they have a million views?
Damn it.
I know.
Literally, that gratitude you get for life, though, where you're like, okay, I get to try again.
Yeah.
Like, this song didn't blow up, cool, like, I'll just do another one. Because even you got to think of it like this. Your song, I've known people, like, their video that's been out for years or the song they've had for years blows up and brings them to a place where we're getting those socio and economical and all these sort of affirmations or confirmations that we always wish for, like the fans come in, the money come in, the position in the market comes in, you're you know, whatever, you're blowing up. What's next? Put yourself there. Like, man, think about it. You need another fucking song. You need another fucking sketch.
Yeah.
So it's like there's never a world or reality, whether it goes good or bad, where you don't need another sketch.
Yeah.
So either it didn't work and you need another sketch to blow up, or this is going to blow up, and then you're going to need another sketch.
Yeah.
So it's like, or song, or whatever, or plan, or some sort of thing that I love that you touched on, just fall in love with the process.
Yeah.
Like, when you're in that, I feel like you're truly with God, or with the universe, or with whatever we want to call it, the nature thing that sent us here.
Absolutely.
That's like, oh, this is beautiful. Like, your heart is inspired in that moment.
Absolutely. Like, loving the process is the biggest thing, because another comic, Ryan Long, told me this. Or you mentioned it on a podcast. Sorry, didn't tell me. I'm high. I heard it on a podcast, but he said, he did
Ryan
say...
Long texted me and told me this personally.
he had said on a podcast, and I believe it wholeheartedly, where it's just like, you have to love what you're doing, because at the end of what you're doing is more of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what Seth Rogen said to me.
You know, like, Seth Rogen said that. You're telling me that you know Seth Rogen personally?
Well, I mean, I seen it on a shirt. No,
I actually seen it on a shirt as a quote, whatever. It's actually a footnote in the back of his book.
How long have you been in Toronto
True.
for?
Yeah, where are you from?
Windsor originally. I've been in Toronto 7-8 years now.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Were you already in comedy when you moved to Toronto?
yeah, I'd started in Windsor, and we would just usually go over, hit open mics in like Michigan, like
Nice.
all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah.
You went States way.
Yeah, it's great. I honestly, States is where comedy thrives.
It's where so much thrives, bro. We're like a
crazy.
little practice market.
Yeah.
Like Canada. I mean, just like period. Like films, everything, music, everything. We're just like, okay, there's people here,
Yeah.
but you can see the trends. The talent comes from here, but the trends come from there. So you got to like understand what's going on. Like even this clip economy that we're in, so American.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Get down with the LA YouTubers and see how they short formed and made ads for their own content. But what they forgot to tell everyone is they have their own sales funnels at the end of those contents that they're collecting the monies from.
Yep.
Not an app, not an affiliate, their own companies like Joe Rogan has On It, or like lots
Yeah.
of YouTubers have their own, sell their product here, and then they collect that, so they're acting as an ad. And now everyone's like, yeah, let's do short form content, because it's so funny. So content is an advertisement, basically.
Absolutely.
That's derived from an art.
Yeah.
Like, this is an art of conversation. We're
Yeah.
flowing. We're all performers.
Yeah.
But where most people see it, and I'm going to make a clip out of this moment, is Instagram. So fuck you.
Or TikTok?
Goddamn.
I love
it.
you guys.
It is all very much. This is all marketing. Like, because the main goal, especially for stand-ups, it's just to drive people to come out to the live shows. It's like, do you like me in this format? Well, you could see a more refined version of this,
I mean, yeah.
and like a
that's-
better bang for your buck.
Everything is sales. We're always selling each other to each other. Like, even as friendships, jobs, new fans, we're like auditioning to be in your playlist.
Yeah.
Basically, we're like, and so and your album, people will find your album.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Is this what you told us you have an album coming out?
Yep.
First?
First album. Yes.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Labor of Love?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Is that what it's called?
No. I'm.
I think it's a sick name.
Check it out when it's going to be coming out in like probably. I'm hoping latest October. Latest. just because I got to get it on the Sound Exchange, got to get all the like the metadata and shit.
Oh, you're gonna place it for billboards or whatever. See what category it shows up in.
It's gonna be like it's just for like submitting it to like radio, like Sirius XM and all that shit.
Nice.
But I do got to get it onto. It's gonna be out on YouTube. It's gonna be called "Mistakes I Made on Purpose."
Nice.
Which that one.
October 2024.
Hopefully.
If you're watching this in the
Fucking
future.
please. I was hoping that it was
You
gonna be
better.
out. I was gonna be hoping that it was out in like May. But it's just.
I know how it is.
I also was in charge of editing the video format just because I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to stuff. And
Why not? We should all edit our own shit.
Yeah, but the problem is that that perfectionism can be kind of toxic.
But perfectionism isn't a real thing. You know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
This
I
is just
want
yourself
to
telling
talk about
yourself.
this now because it's come up now twice. Where does this perfectionism come from?
Well, it drives you like, especially as a young stand-up, like it drives you to become better. Be like you're watching good stand-up because you want to be a good stand-up. Like you're watching these guys who have mastered an art form, and then you're trying to achieve that. And the only way you think that the only way to achieve that is being like just demanding more and more out of yourself, which works to a certain extent, but it also doesn't. It has like a hit and miss return rate where sometimes it can really derail you mentally, but it also sometimes can get results. But
So those masters that you watched, right, and got inspired by, do you think they thought their work was perfect at that point?
No.
So
Definitely not.
that's what's so amazing is like the thing that inspires us to try and be perfect is definitely not that person's perfect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like it never is. Like,
No, it's never
but we're always striving.
Greatness is never perfect.
Striving.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
it's
beautiful.
authentic.
yeah, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Would you like to release this sense of perfectionism that you...
Absolutely. If I could get it off my back and just permanently, I would do it. I don't know what
I'm
I'd
gonna
have to
send
do
you an
to-
audiobook. I'm gonna send you an audiobook.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you got?
You're done. It's gonna be done by the end of the week,
Gonna
and
be
then
done.
your special is gonna be out by the end by September. Fuck October.
Yeah.
September 11th, we're crashing into you, bitch. I'm sorry.
So-
Was that too
Nice.
soon?
No, God, no. No. It's actually kind of late. Like, I
It's almost-
was hoping a 9/11 joke we were going to open the show up with that, but all right.
Have you
Conspiracy.
finished the editing?
Yeah, the editing is done. The video format, like I directed the photography for it. I got my buddy Dave Luca to do like the actual in-person directing of like just handling the whole camera crew. I picked out the lenses, the cameras.
Oh my god, I love that, dude.
I wanted to do it. I wanted it to be like a simulation of like what's it like in the audience. So everyone's handheld cams.
That's really
What?
cool, man.
Yeah. So everyone is just like not everyone, but like 3 handheld cams in the audience, 2 on the wings.
Whoa.
2 on the wings, 1 in the center, plus 1 dynamic cam that's like kind of picking up crowd shots and also just like stylistic shots of me. But
Those are the best.
Bro.
Okay, so you went ham.
yeah.
Do you think your material deserves that yet?
Yes.
Good, because I felt like that my first special too, and then I look back, I'm like, oh, it could have been tighter, but it's fucking.
Definitely looking back on it right now, I'm just like, sorry, go ahead. My bad.
No,
I keep
not at
cutting
all.
you
No,
off. My
I
bad.
want that. I want to inspire that because that's what I'm talking about. The self-reflection of it's never done.
Yeah.
So it's one more point towards perfectionism.
Yeah, so
because it
that's-
does deserve it 100%, and that's a lot. And it's almost like Netflix can see you or something. You know, someone in a position to perhaps offer something. Like they're like, oh, look, this is his catalog of work, and since the beginning, he's been very articulate in how he wants to express. So that's a huge bonus point there.
Yeah.
But holding on to something is something I see. I'm sorry because I know you want to go here too. Probably is. I see musicians with so much talent that could have so much more if they just press that upload button, even if it's not the perfect mix or the perfect thing. It's like a reference to the next thing, but we don't always
Absolutely.
want to accept that.
Yeah.
Like we want to be at the top of the stairs right away, but it's like, no, that's a solid step. You know, and like that helps us build. Sorry.
So I want to know. I know I'm just like so intense with the questions, but I'm like grilling you.
No,
I
no.
wanna,
We're all over this.
It's almost as though
perfectionism
it's an
thing.
interview. It's crazy.
I want to know with your perfectionism and going through the experience of editing yourself.
Yep.
When did you get to a place where you were like, this is either perfect or this is good enough? Like, how do you decide that against?
Well, it was okay. So I let the material sit for a while. Unfortunately, realistically, that's I just couldn't even look at it. Just though I know that the 8 o'clock show, like I used the entire 8 o'clock show, like because it was a show at 8, show at 10, and just like the 10 o'clock was it was cold. I don't know. Everyone, even the openers that I had, and it just didn't. I don't know. The audience was just not chill.
That must have felt rough after a good 8 o'clock.
Yeah, the 8 o'clock, because everyone says that, oh my God, once you get the first one out, the second one is great. And it's like the exact opposite. I was like, what is wrong with this audience? This sucks.
But at least you got it, though.
Yeah, I got it. Like, I was sitting there, I was on stage, and I was like, we got it on the 8. It's fine. But
that's sick.
The problem,
The question was like, how do you know when it's done? Essentially, when you're fighting these perfectionism tendencies.
Just because I know how I want it to look. There's nothing I can really change with how it sounds. It sounds great, but it's like I can't change how I said things. I can't change how
the performance is there.
Yeah, there is certain because it was originally 45 minutes, but I just made the decision that I was like, okay, I'm gonna chop this down, however much I need. Like if there was certain material that I'm like, it's not going to make the cut, then I'm like cutting it out. And I chopped it down to 31 minutes.
Wow, good for you.
Nice.
Just because there's a 15 minutes worth of material that's in there that I'm like, no, this is going on the next album. I'm like, I could have actually sat down and made it as good as the rest of this, but for some reason I fumbled it, and I was like, okay. It's not that the material sucks. It's just that it didn't get the time that it needed to actually develop.
Yeah.
That's good. So you have that understanding with yourself. This is a lot of good self-awareness.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like using the craft to build. Yeah,
that is yours. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Just leave it there in temptation and mystery win.
Just looking at it.
Maybe
Mouth pasties just.
it matches your. I know. You just get high enough from it. But no, man. So that's like really good. Like to have this level of self-awareness and navigate the world outside
were you always
of
like
art.
that?
Like it's unique.
I don't know. I don't know if I definitely think as I get older, I'm a little bit more self-aware. I try not to. I don't know. I'm usually just aware of like why I'm feeling certain things, and also just I try to also just be as like. I don't know, big mushroom doses. Those definitely help with like kind of bring you back down to earth. Microdosing definitely helps you with just fine tuning you to like what your actual purpose is. Like just because I don't know, my goal. I don't know, because everyone always gets this mindset. They're just like, oh, I gotta be famous. I gotta be making money. I gotta be selling out these fucking places. But like our real fucking goal is, it's like you're just trying to make people laugh. Like you're just trying to make someone's day a little bit better for like however long you're on stage.
Totally.
That's why we all did this. That's why we got. Realistically, that should be why we all did this. Why we all got into this. Like I started doing comedy because me and my dad bonded on comedy. I was always just trying to make my dad laugh. Like my dad was. Thank you.
I resonate with that.
Yeah, like you grow up you grow up in like a kind of a broken home, and you're just trying to make your parents laugh, and that's how a lot of us fucking get into it.
There you go.
And like that for sure means you're gonna be famous, so get ready.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
When you got that pain inside you and you know that you're operating in a place of love now because you've alchemized the pain, the very behavior and activity that came from trying to like keep fear away or keep pain away or cause light where there's darkness.
Yeah.
You're like, now you access a new love point.
Yeah.
That alchemy is beautiful. You gotta have the balls to be a performer.
Oh, it's tough. Like it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and also just it's tough when also like there's some subject material I'll get into that's because I like comics who talk about tough subjects.
Real
like
shit.
definitely stuff where it's either like a social, political, or even just like kind of like depressing material, and trying to make it as funny as possible. Like I have this
the greats.
I've had this whole bit about for a while where it's like I used to get beat by my dad, but he also has muscular dystrophy. So like going through that whole bit, it's like that was a bit I was scared to tell at first, but that was the first great bit I ever had. where it's like
good.
that was the first one that like got me any sort of respect from the comics that I looked up to.
Oh, fuck.
Where they were like props, just like, dude, that was great.
That's the shit right
and
there.
I was like, damn, okay, because I had immediately like there was one point.
Love those.
There was one point like where the bit turns into that. Where it's like I used to get beat by my dad, but my dad, and then the first time I tried telling it was at Underground. Everyone's high in the audience. I'm high.
Puff Mamas?
Yeah.
Let's go!
I was the door guy there for like 2 years.
Bro, so we done seen each other.
We had to.
Yeah,
We must have.
1,000%.
But that's, fucking shouts out to Puff Mama,
Puff
too.
Mama!
Because also that's how I got good. Like,
love
Puff
you.
Mama would throw me on every single show that I was there for.
She's doing that for me right
Love
now.
you. She's literally doing that for Winnie
It's
right
perfect.
now.
Like, it's the best. It's also getting up in front of stoners is a good, honest way to develop because they do have this. There's a definite sense. Hunter Collins said this before, where it's like stoners are hypersensitive to contrivity, where they can sense when something is not not authentic, off the dome, not even off the dome, but it's like when it's coming from a place of rehearsal as opposed to being excited to tell you
This
something.
is the exact thing that I felt when I switched gears with Sylvan Sessions at the Vapor Central on Matt Myrna's show. I performed for my first audience, and while I was high, and I had this like kind of gaggy comedic thing with this guy with a guitar, and it was all pre-written.
Yeah.
And it worked with the drunk crowd so well.
Yeah.
But we did it for the high crowd, and I called it. I was like, yo, just sit down for a minute. Matt, put on a Drake-type beat. And I just, off the dome, started looking at eyes and freestyling about what they were doing. And then stoners don't make noise, but they perk up. And they like, their energy comes to like focus stronger. It goes from like this to like this. And I'm like fucking learning one of the deepest lessons of my life in that moment right there. You speak more truth or something.
Yeah.
It triggers something more in you that you're like,
absolutely.
you got to be more grounded. Like, motherfucker, I'll look into your soul right now.
Because also stoner audiences, much like that shroom audience I was talking about, there's a very cohesiveness to them. There's a very
They're listening.
They're
together.
all in tune with the energy.
Yeah.
And one of the things, I don't know if you ever got to see Mike Rita on.
Dude, we know Mike. Mike's been.
He's coming on the
Oh
show
my God.
next month.
That guy.
Oh my God.
Watching him on Stoner Sundays, him host, like it was honestly sometimes like I think it was like a 2-hour show. He's just getting ripped, but what
He's just hanging out.
His fucking superpower is to take the audience from wherever the last comic left them and bring them back into a good place.
Yo,
no matter what.
He cleanses. He cleanses the energy.
Such good energy. Like
it's
just
grounded too. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's like.
That's how we'll start his episode. I'm gonna clip you out.
Yeah, we're gonna
clip start it.
Like he's honestly, he's
brilliant.
arguably or objectively one of the best comics Canada's ever produced. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got some fucking heaters right now.
But watching him, how he would just how he would do that, even just like getting people like. There's times where you just where you'll see him. He'll just start talking about like some shit that we learned, like that we remember from the '90s, and he'll go off on like 10 minutes after a comic bombs, and then bring everyone back into like a cohesive, wrangled state of just being like, guys, this is still a show.
Yeah.
So
Like,
you're energy masters, basically. We are energy masters to a level where we're like practicing alchemy to like reflect the state and then get everyone in harmony again.
Yeah.
Or someone good at performance, you get everyone in harmony, and then you leave them. Like if you're a really good host, like leave them.
Yeah.
And then it's so nice.
Host is such fucking like it's such an unspoken, like they don't get enough
unsung
credit.
hero.
Yeah.
They don't get enough credit where it's like, look, just getting people like, do you want to know what the best techniques for hosting is?
Please.
Getting the audience off the top to make some noise. So where it's just like, guys, this is Drew Bem's technique. He's talked about this. And I swear by it. It is so fucking good. And just sets the audience into place. Like, guys, give a round of applause for yourselves for coming out here tonight. This is a great show. Tell the audience the show name. Then just be like, all right, guys, we got a great lineup of comedians in the back of the room. Make some noise for them, guys. This is gonna be a great show. Start getting into material. Maybe do a little bit of crowd work, but just get them to make some noise for themselves. Get them to reassured that they made a good choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
a great tip.
There's comics who will come out there and they'll just immediately be like, and they'll start talking about pedophiles. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh my God.
It's intense.
You don't know it until you do it, but
Yeah.
it's its own beast.
Yeah.
So what I learned from hip hop, I took it into my own thing, but like I very much do a call and answer, and I demand their intelligence. So it's like the name of the show is Rhythm and Flow. I'm like, when I say rhythm, y'all say flow, rhythm, and I'm quick with it. And it's like, you better fucking do it again or you'll be left out. So right away, I'm like,
Nice.
Comedic aggression.
Nice.
And then with my show as Ellevan, I start with an ohm. Yeah, it's a lot to stand there and get people to do it, but like that's a little thing that works very well for at least my style of show. Sometimes it's too calming if you want to get people to go this way, but I'm like, ohm.
What does an ohm do?
Well, so if you do it right now, you breathe in, you just go om.
It's supposed to be the sound.
You can feel that, right?
Nice.
So you feel that right there,
Yeah.
and they're resonating. And so basically, you're kind of like offering your in your system, your nervous system, basically in your body, the opportunity to let go of any held energy and like start fresh. So you're vibrating in your heart center using vibration to like cleanse. It's like a little Mike Rita in there. And, he freshens it up. And then also to my benefit, it allows me to take them from zero, because ohming will kind of like ground everyone, take them from zero to like into my world.
Yeah.
And my world works with the meditative state of ohming. Because I'm like a song out of a what someone just said. So, but like, ohming just in general will help ground you in the present moment too. Because we hold on to energy. Like if someone was a dick to you earlier or something, we don't think we hold it on. But yeah, it fucking right in there, right? So we gotta let
Just
go.
recentering yourself.
Yeah, recenter. That would be. I could have saved that 5-minute story by saying it recenters you.
Yeah, but look, I like your way too. That was great.
Thanks.
Damn.
Do you do any like non-negotiable daily practices?
I try to stick to them. I try to stick to dishes. Dishes are my bare minimum.
Oh my God, come on over.
Yeah, dishes
We
have.
hate dishes.
Nah, it's like that's. If you can walk into a kitchen and not one dish is dirty in the morning,
You use the result to drive your action now.
yeah, you're just like as soon as
You have
because
foresight.
right before bed, I'll do my dishes. Wow. When I wake up, I'll make my bed. Those are the bare minimums that I have to do.
Bravo.
Then there's like a ton of the ones that I've like tried to get on board of like consistently. Like I've tried to do cold showers every morning, but it's fuck this.
The bitch wins.
It's so
Every day the bitch wins with me in the cold shower.
It's so tough.
I feel like we'd feel differently if we had a ready-made ice tub. Like
Yeah.
if you just
Outside,
had like an
Joe
ice
Rogan
tub in
style.
your place, you would just jump in
Yeah.
there and then come on out.
But it's like trying to get you into the mode of just being like, okay, all right.
But the shower is really, I think, harder than the plunge is
No.
because it's like I like to get I like to get it all at once. It's like this
Yeah.
beating down on you of freezing cold.
Yeah,
Like,
down
and
too.
you gotta like turn. Just
Yeah, and it's like, okay, make it cold over here too. And it's like I had a bit of warmth on my lower back, and I'm like, you can cold me.
It's so brutal.
I agree. I like to get into that shit and just like you feel your body be like, no, like right away.
Your entire body's just dying,
You're
and
in
you're just like, this is what I need. This is definitely.
And then, but that's what it is, right? It's your mental discipline to be like, I'm gonna sit in this, and then
Yeah.
your body's like, you should get out. This is nuts. But then when your heart starts to slow down, after you can
And
just,
you're just like, oh wow, I think I'm gonna die. Oh my god.
I'm frozen.
Have you ever had that moment on mushrooms, or like if you've ever greened out on cannabis, that like I think I'm gonna die moment?
Yeah. There has been like those times where it's like you're just out of body.
Yeah.
Like I've taken like a 9-gram dose once.
Wow.
No,
We've
never
never
again.
done that.
From sober?
Yeah.
Whoa,
It's too much.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
I was
Did
young.
Did you have any ramification, like emotional ramifications after that 9
Maybe. Potentially. I definitely feel like it. I do feel like it definitely did something. Like just because you can't disassociate that heavily without there being like some aftershocks.
Yeah.
But to what extent there is, because you change as a person.
Yeah, it does.
Like, and also I don't recommend that. It's not like I'm just being like, no, I think everyone should try that. Like definitely something. If I could go back in time and tell myself like, don't do that. Maybe start lighter. You'd probably notice. You'd probably walk away with more noticeable benefits from a little bit of mindfulness and just a smaller dose.
Yeah.
Like
that's what we do. We do prayer with it. We do intention with it, and we hope that our mental fortitude or intention pairs with that feeling of like the elated oneness to like show us the perspectives we need to see.
Absolutely.
Do you ever try DMT?
Yep. Tried DMT
the
before.
pen?
Yeah, my buddy, he made one. I was like,
because you can.
Yeah, I didn't. It's crazy.
It's a root, right?
Okay, yeah. You guys have tried it, right?
I've tried a little bit of it just the other week.
You
I
haven't
tried it. I'm interested.
Where was she?
I was out with my buddy at Trinity Bellwoods at 2 a.m. for no reason. I shot a music video with Kevin Sarasum, the guy who took this picture.
Okay, sick.
And he's just an amazing creator, and he's a fucking wild guy. Like, he doesn't live in Miami, but he should, you know?
Sorry, walk me through this scenario one more time. You were in,
I'm buzzing around with my scooter. So here's Kevin Sarasum, world famous photographer, okay? Off Leash Studios. He's awesome. I met him through creative agency. We've been friends for years. He's wild.
Okay.
And he travels around the world and does like pop-ups and does dog photography.
Damn.
And he rides like a like very fast like board that looks like a hoverboard, and he wears all black, and it's just amazing, and he's shiny, and he always has a camera on him. And so that's Kevin Sarasum. He's a trip.
Okay.
And we're friends, and he's like, hey buddy, you want to shoot something today? I'm like, I got a single coming out in a week, and he's like, let's do a video for it. And I'm like, great. And then so there he is on his fucking electric skateboard doing filming from his nice camera, and I'm on my scooter with a Bluetooth doing my rap lyrics, and I stitched a video together for this.
Damn.
And we wrapped it, and it's a night shoot on purpose because he had a red light and we were moving through the city. It looks great.
Yeah.
And after that, he's like, you want to go chill at Trinity Bellwoods? I'm like, fuck yeah. And then we're there, and he's like, I have some DMT. And I'm like, okay. And then he has like a vape, and then he takes a big hit, and then like hands me the pen. And then I just took a medium small hit, like a small hit, and then I didn't feel anything. And then I waited 10 minutes, and then I took a medium hit. And then I started to like kind of get that oneness perspective that mushrooms gives you a little bit. And then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Another time, because it was all dark.
Yeah. Did you not get any of the sensory perception? Like because I hit it, like my friend had the pen, and I hit it, and I'm sitting on a couch, and my friend who's sitting on like my desk chair right in front of me, he just shifts into fractals. Like he explodes into these fractals.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, whoa, and I put my head back and immediately sucked through this like tunnel of just shifting fractals
you
and
had
structures.
this. Yannick had this. You did DMT.
Yeah.
I didn't do it. You did it.
This one was it's intense, but I didn't get to the point where I can't, because there was a few things that were very jarring. The taste, first of all, tastes like ass.
Woody, earthy, stanky.
It was like, I don't know if he'd have been like, if it was like like the end of the vape, but it was very
the end.
It was very like chemically rubbery. Like it was very much in the back of my throat. I'm like, I gotta get some water in me. Like I was like walking through like my apartment, like gotta get. It's like everything's shifting. It's crazy, but also the buzzing. There's buzzing that happens in your ear when on a heavy DMT trip. Is like there's this constant like zzz.
Is that common?
Common.
Oh.
Very common.
Good to know. I'm glad
like
we
from-
had this conversation.
Thank you, and bless everyone who's watching too. Thank you.
There's a video my buddy showed me. He was like, "This is the best representation of what a DMT trip is like," and I was like, "No, fuck, this looks insane." And then I tried it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, this is entirely what it is."
Can you send me that video?
Yeah, I'll message him. Shouts out to my buddy Paul.
So
I'll put it
what
here.
do you think, besides, I guess, the understanding that, like, everything is kind of an illusion, I guess, because our mind makes shit up, but, like, what do you think the healing benefit would be from your experience of DMT?
I don't know, because there's like a breakthrough that some people are supposed to get to. Like
Yeah.
I didn't experience any sort of like cerebral where I'm like, oh man, shift in perspective. It was
Epiphany.
all very, very visual. Like, it was very much, it was, the best way that I put it is that it was the fastest I've moved while sitting down. Like, it's...
Wow.
You're...
That's lovely. That just gave me kind of like a intense feeling.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster. You get sucked through a tunnel.
Wow.
Do you think maybe your consciousness is existing on several dimensions?
Potentially.
I think that is actually theoretically proven, but I'm saying maybe this drug offers our semi-cognitive self of a visual perspective on what those other dimensions are like. Mm-hmm. Because like it is said even in Newtonian physics, which is basically us observing matter of the past manifestation now, that even you are just a vibrating energy, like at the very, very core of trying to observe, what is the smallest one, atom?
Yeah.
Like that, it's 99%
Or neuron.
vibrating
or
space.
Yeah.
Or the proton when you cut that in half.
Yeah.
So there must be more to see than just like what the end result is. Like there's microscopic energy. So I'm thinking like maybe DMT gives you, those fractals could be how it is in the seventh dimension.
Yeah.
Right? Is it maybe? I don't know. I haven't fully had the experience.
There's a good chance that, yeah. Like, who knows, realistically, because I do feel like...
or you think it's just your imagination having fun?
No, I don't think it's that. I definitely think that it definitely tunes you into different wavelengths. Like, there is different wavelengths that you can tune into that that allow you to have like certain perspectives. Also, even just visually, like tripping, that could visually tripping, that could just be the chemicals, but it's also, who knows, because that's...
Well, what are chemicals? They're a manifestation of an energy too.
It's all very, you can just really you can get down and keep asking why, what is this? And you keep getting further and further into the questioning, and you get farther away from what
it is really.
It's like, who knows realistically what you're doing to your brain? Like, what are you... Like I don't know, there's...
Wicked point. That's so true. To observe it is to get lost in the details, which is a form of distraction, rather than taking the value from it.
What's that one, there's like a certain type of, I don't know if it's an atom or just like a reaction that it only works when you're not observing it.
The double slit experiment.
That's the one.
So it is to prove that consciousness affects, so it's what basically blasts us into observing and studying more quantum physics. They shot protons through like a split, and somehow the bounce would be determined by the observer. Yeah. When you looked away, it had 50-50 or something.
Yeah.
And then when we observed the right side, it landed the right side every time. When we observed the left side, the left side. So it's like energy attraction was proved on like a micro level.
Yeah. So like in the observation, like whenever they tried to actually observe it, or like it doesn't do it. Like it doesn't work.
Do it.
Like it doesn't work. And they don't know why. They don't know what is changing in the experiment, except for the observation, like their actual equipment observing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does that change anything?
So
like,
they're measuring through Newtonian physics, which is outdated physics.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Considering the God molecule, considering energy, and considering like us being more energy than we are matter. Sorry, Wen.
I sometimes like to wonder about what it is that like science has actually discovered that yet. Now that's not out to the masses yet.
Oh,
can you imagine?
America alone knows about 0-point energy. You can make spaceships.
Do you think that UFOs are all UFO, like United States?
It's. I mean, that's where they're held.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that's public information.
Is that?
They have the spacecrafts that were found
I know
in
that,
Roswell and stuff.
Yeah.
And they've reverse engineered them.
Okay, all right.
But it's outside of this is what's part of driving the quantum physics study. Is like what's happening on like a density level. Like I think the way that spaceships move isn't through a propulsion system like in our matter that requires the push off or like the movement through space like and time as a linear perception, but more so what they're saying is like you fall into the new space assuming that new location and frequency. I have no fucking idea.
Damn.
But like that's their shit what they're working on. Like the reason why we see them move so quick is because they're basically evaporating into a new.
Yeah.
They're falling through space and
teleportation?
time. Yeah, basically, but with movement that looks like propulsion in our perspective because they're just zapping.
Damn.
So their mental state must not. They must be able to believe that they can.
Yeah,
they're not matter.
So they're
Yeah.
one with the ship. So when they found it, there's no controls. It's like flat. So the Greys drive like by like their consciousness with the ship. Isn't that fucking nuts?
Damn.
You have to plug yourself in energetically to this thing and believe.
Yeah, because what's the guy's name who said he worked on the crafts? Lazar? No, Bob Lazar?
Dave.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Something Lazar. I can't remember if he's
There's
the one
a
who worked on
bunch-
the.
Yeah, and
He-
there's Admiral Burt.
But they talk about the space that they would be in. There's no controls.
Yeah, it's flat.
Damn.
So they have to they're programming their consciousness to work with this thing, but also like
Do you think Neuralink is going to be that?
we're building the steps there towards the third dimension. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, hand this. We know it's a phone.
Yeah.
Surprise! We're shooting this angle on an iPhone. Shout out Apple. You know, hand this to somebody in 1910.
Oh yeah. Blow their
What
fucking
the
minds.
fuck do you mean? There's
I
no
hand-
buttons. We're saying there's no buttons. There's no buttons on this.
I handed my grandmother an iPad. She fucking died.
Like what? I'm
just
sorry to
kidding.
hear that,
I'm just
man. I'm
kidding.
sorry to hear that.
I'm kidding.
No, but like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, we're not as evolved in our linear timeline. Like, whatever happened last ice age, this humans are about like 13,000 years old. Like, whenever
Yeah.
we started trying to tell the story of the inner temple through Jesus, and they're like, yeah, this guy from Middle East is white. You lost me there.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is obviously a metaphor for something else.
Yeah.
And anyway, so the more this shit all comes out, it's more connected. That spirit and science are actually kind of like science is
yeah.
basically trying to explain what spirit has created.
I'm very excited.
Energy just fucking creates everything.
That was a good one.
That is pretty solid.
Well, thank you, science, though, because or else we'd just still be going, oh, go to the potion man on the corner, like, you know what I mean? Like, get some witch man. I mean, but
Get
all
some
that
alchemy.
Yeah.
Let's start some herbs on this gangrene.
all that
That'll
does
help.
still help, but like exactly, sometimes there is time. I call basically Western medicine, I call it reparative medicine. Super valuable. You break your arm, you can't really pray over that so much.
No.
You kind of want someone to, and you want someone that knows how to and put a cast on it. So
Put everything back into place.
shout out. But what about meditation for daily things? You ever try that? Sorry.
I've tried doing it, but my brain just, I don't know, for some reason, just trying to get back, like to not, to just try to think about one thing, and then it always comes away, and then you try to always bring it back to just like the breathing. It's, I don't know. For some,
We meditate every day, just because it's like super helpful for us
Yeah.
in our daily life. But I've been letting my mind go lately. I'm like, fine,
Yeah?
fine, go, just go. I don't care if you want to talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about, you psycho.
are you supposed to let it go? Like
I don't think there's any rules. I think that's actually where people get caught up
Nice.
in meditation. I think people are like, this is supposed to happen. I've been doing it for X amount of time. It's not happening, so I think it's not for me.
yeah.
But I think that if you kind of allow yourself the experience instead of trying to, which might be challenging for you, instead of trying to like achieve a state, because when you don't achieve it, and you don't all
Yeah.
the time, it can feel frustrating.
Yeah.
So it's that like allowance of energy
Took
to
me
kind of
2
move
years.
through you.
2 years of just consistently doing it?
I mean, I'm a fucking rage case before this. We're talk like flip out, man fit, trash the house, punch yourself in the face, black eye.
I would never expect that.
Thank you so much.
Most
and
people
I really
don't.
appreciate that.
You
But like,
fucking vibrate positivity. Dude.
thank you, brother. No, I appreciate that. It's a lot of work, and
He
I'm grateful.
alchemized.
I
Wow.
alchemized. So like, I had to try and sit down through guided meditations that innately I'd start, like I put a 2-minute one on, and I'd be like, you fucking bitch. Like, as soon as she was like, take a breath, I'm like, you fucking breathe, cunt. Like, I was so angry in my heart and my head. And I remember all I saw was like lines going crazy. Like, I was so scared to
You'd have
close
to
my
like
eyes.
get
Yeah.
up even.
And I'd get overwhelmed because, as we're learning now retroactively, I'm diagnosed Tourette's, but like we're all a little higher or lower on the
Yeah.
autistic scale.
Yep.
So it's like I'm probably a little higher than we probably anticipated in the beginning of time.
Okay, all right.
Which is fair and cool. So I've just been learning and working with that, and like taking moments when I'm overwhelmed or overstimulated. But meditation used to overstimulate me.
Yeah.
So I'd like get up and like get out of it, and then but I had this grit of discipline to like get back down before the 2-minute meditation that was guided was over. Like even if it was like 1:45 and I couldn't barely cross my legs because my knees were so fucking tight at that time. And I was like, just breathe to like 2 minutes. And I did it through grit through like 2 years. And it's because I wanted to get rich. Still not rich, but I meditate and I'm better about it.
I mean, dude, I don't think you could get rich without that. Like, holy shit. You seem like you had a lot of pent-up energy. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
How long of a process has that been?
My whole life, basically. Like 10 years.
I think
15
you
years.
started meditating probably 8 years ago.
Oh, when was this? Like that time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant of unraveling this rage. No, of like that. I think that was the year 2015.
Damn.
I think it was the year 2014 into 2015.
Damn.
No? 2015.
May have been 2015 into 16, I feel.
No, because what I manifested 2016 was totally fucking due to that. So we started listening to these folks like Bob Proctor, Abraham Hicks. Mm-hmm. Do any of these ring a bell?
Do you want some mango or guava kombucha?
Oh my God, yes. What the heck? Yeah.
I just wanted to have a little refresh because I'm having such a good time.
Damn. He's got so much energy. Just a ray of sunshine, both of you guys. Holy shit.
I live with him, and he buzzes around nonstop, bro. It's really good. Meditation has been
great,
fantastic.
though.
Yeah, no, it is. The energy is infectious for sure.
Bless you.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference on what flavor kombucha?
No, not at all.
Do you like kombucha?
Kombucha's great.
Nice.
Great. Good for the gut health. I've been eating a lot of cheese lately, like I said, and I need something to help me out. Oh, my God.
That's so good.
Also, I want to talk about your podcast.
Podcast, yes. We were talking about it a little before, but it's called, we might change the name of it. It's called The Midnight Society as of right now.
Cool name.
The whole the podcast started with my idea for a live show. Like I wanted to do, because I like making sketches. A lot of my friends will come to me and they'll just be like, Max, I got an idea. Do you think we could make this? And my thought process is always absolutely, because please, like even if it's like I like someone coming to me with an idea that it's like I know it's funny, and they're like, this might be a little weird, I don't know, and it's like fucking yes, let's make it. Absolutely, let's make it.
Cheers to that. That's the attitude.
Like because me and I don't know if you guys have met a boss, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. Abbas Wahab, me and him, when we first moved to the city, like he moved maybe a few months after me, but we met up at a show, and we just both wanted to make shit. We didn't know how to make shit. I know I had a little bit of editing experience, so like from when I was a kid, and I had some camera gear that I had bought that I was like, okay, we're gonna make sketches, but I'm like, I don't know where to start. And it's like kind of, when you're first starting out, nowadays it's a little different because you can just shoot shit on your phone and it's so fucking easy. But when
is this 2006, 2008, 2010? What are we talking?
This would be going back about 7 years now.
Okay.
So
2016.
Yeah, 2006. Yeah, 2016 or 17 was when we just started making one sketch a week, and a lot of them just out of the gate, they were just not great.
Yeah.
But it's like we were just like, okay, well, what ideas do we have? How can we best achieve this idea? What with the skills that we have right now? And now I'm at a point where it's like I can probably do. Like, if I have an idea, I know what the limitations of my capabilities are in terms of film. It's usually just limited to, like, what I have access to, and then who I have access to, like, film with. And generally, the only other limitation is just, like, what is the idea? Like, how far can we push this one idea? Like, if my friends constantly come to me with just these ideas, and they're like, I don't know if this is going to be funny, I don't know if this is going to be good, and it's like, let's make it. I don't give a shit. I can't wait. Like, I just want to work.
There's so much value in that, too.
Yeah. And also, I like because the phone call is what I wanted to capture, too, is because them pitching me an idea is always fun, too.
Yeah.
Like, having someone pitch an idea, like, even in a writer's room and then workshopping it. So I wanted to have that type of vibe of just like how to simulate a writer's room scenario. And the idea for the live show was, okay, we'd have people come up, pitch a sketch. We would also show sketches that we pitched in the prior to, and then ones that we had made, like higher production ones. But then I'm like, okay, maybe I should make this into a podcast first and slowly build a fan base that I can then be like, okay, do you guys, because that's also a wildly different show concept than people are used to. So I'm like, maybe if I establish this first and then bring it into a live setting, then maybe that would be better.
That's a great idea.
So that's what we've done now, where like there's a little bit of preamble, but we'll have a sketch usually that we're trying to pitch on the episode or workshop, and then I'll try to make it throughout the week and then have it in the episode.
Nice.
We're slowly building consistency in that, where the turnaround for some of these sketches is a lot higher than others. But it's fine. Like
it's gonna be that way sometimes.
I'm excited to just let this thing grow, just naturally, organically. It's fine. It's one of the things that
That's how you got to be about podcasts.
Yeah, and I started the podcast right after, as I was finishing up the special, and I adopted the mindset of good enough. Look, it doesn't. Like I said, nothing has to be perfect anymore.
Dude, and just let it grow publicly. Like we did this.
We started this pretty rugged.
Like we started this show on mics. One of these mics is still the mic I used to busk with.
Really?
Yeah, and we started on just plugged it right into Logic, and we record it. And I had a art that I did from Fiverr or something.
Oh yeah.
And it was just we were still talking that shit, that consciousness, but some of it's a little bit ick, I think, when I go back. But I'm glad that it's there. It's ick to me now, but it's along someone their journey works.
You guys have gotten so much. How many episodes in are you right now?
You're 205.
105 episodes.
Yeah, bro.
You guys, think of how much, you've learned in podcasting, just letting it grow organically.
That's it.
And, just allowing that skill set to adapt, because you guys are also a unit when you guys do this, right? It's the cohesive nature that you guys have created for this podcast is pretty great. I'm not going to lie.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's so awesome, too, because we just kept doing it, and, resources kind of just kept falling into...
Yeah, our friends gave us this.
Yeah.
These lights and,
usually how it happens.
Yeah.
Got that camera with a client.
Nice.
Started shooting.
An A7 II, they just gave it to you?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's a great camera.
I'm a great fucking service provider. And
dude, it's solid.
They're still shot on iPhones, these ones, but we first started shooting on iPhone 7.
Yeah.
Those were our first. And we were having some pretty good guests as far as cannabis industry goes, Angelina Bless. I look back, I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't just try to get a better camera earlier, but it's who fucking cares? These conversations are had, they're documented.
Did it come up once on the episode?
No.
Or even
No, it's me. It's me in my own head, right?
Yeah.
It's always us in our own head.
Well, it's kind of we can't really go back and use a whole lot of that old footage for clips.
Yeah.
Just because now we have this new sort
and if
of
we
branded.
sell a featured episode like we do for brands or whatever, it's
but that's
you want to
growth.
put your best foot forward. Throw a tuck real good. I said best foot forward. But yeah, exactly. Is what you're saying. You want to, make it nice. But yeah, it's always
That's a
learning.
really fun concept.
It's always growing.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Super fun.
Dude.
How many episodes are you in?
Today is going to be episode 4. And thank you.
Sick.
Yeah.
But it's growing. It's growing fine. I do it with my buddy Alex Fortin. He's a comic from Edmonton.
Oh.
He's here now, and our buddy Tyler Hartley. He's the producer on it. And we just bring on comics. There's no guest on this episode that came out today, but on the next episode we have Natalie Norman. And the sketch that we workshopped on that one, I'm very excited about. That one, I'm really excited to shoot and then execute. And I don't know, I just like it. I like the whole process of it, just editing,
so
shooting.
I'm thinking Italians. Like The Sopranos?
Nah. I'm thinking trash.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
We get 8 obnoxious fucks.
Yes.
Put them in a beach house together.
Yes, and yes.
I'm talking wife beaters, spray tans, STIs.
I love where you're going, but also we're going to throw in a girl who's so obnoxious that audiences will have no problem with her getting assaulted on camera.
Boom.
That is lightning in a bottle.
6 seasons, a reunion, and a chicken parm sandwich.
Yo, sketch is the shit. So basically, as you're talking about this, I'm realizing how deep of a role sketch played. I basically used sketch comedy to first get close with Winnie.
Really?
Yeah.
Valentine's Sweets.
You made her a sketch for
No,
Valentine's?
I started a YouTube channel in 2006 or 2005, like as soon as YouTube came out.
Sick.
Called Comedy Anatomy. And like that's what we moved to LA on when we were 20. Like we were
You guys
making
moved to
sketches.
LA?
Yeah, when we were 20.
just stupid
I was
kids.
doing stand up then. I did stand up at the Comedy Store at 20.
Damn.
And when he was doing runway modeling in Hollywood.
In fucking...
When we were 20 in 2010. And then like all that time, bro, like that was my full-time focus, like trying to make good sketches. And we shot some hilarious, shitty sketches
Oh my
in
God,
LA.
on a camcorder.
Bro, we rented a fucking casting room.
Damn.
Oh my
We
God.
were in but we were in an improv troupe before we got together. And that was kind of my like, hey, come over here and create with me, just us, and we can like obviously go official now because we're kissing in the skit.
Nice.
No, it wasn't even official,
It
but
was, our
I'm gonna
that
put here.
early. That was 2000. Yes, that was 2009.
I'm gonna embarrass us
2008,
and put it here.
2009.
There, stop and stare. She got me love stoned, and I think that she knows. I think that she knows. She knows.
That's JT. You didn't write that either.
Yes, I did. I wrote it yesterday. It's special.
Damn.
It was
nice.
very ick.
But-
there's not a lot that
Do you guys
aged well.
Have you guys like looked back on any? Is it still up?
I think so. I think you can go to Comedy Anatomy. I got to get back into that account. I don't even know how to
Yeah,
fucking
we don't
sign
know how
in,
to-
bro.
Yeah.
This little fish is gonna get in that nice bait good.
Essentially what's happened is we've set out a bike as bait for bike thieves.
And they take the bait because they're stupid bike thieves.
We're bait bike cops, and this is serious business.
Freeze, you piece of shit! Hey, we gotta run it. You just stole a bait bike. You are fishy. Get off. Get off of it.
the bike now. You know, there's more to this than just bait bikes. We're also into bike recovery. Stolen bikes, anyway. What do we do with the bikes when we recover? Sometimes, you know, we fix them up, we donate them to a Christian charity or something like that, you know, for not-profit. You know, we're not in this for the money, although we could be. This one time we gave one of my janitor's niece. God, you should have seen the light in her eyes when she had that little bike put in her little hands. Or her little hand, she only had the one hand.
Do not steal a bait bike because, no, don't steal any bike at all. I don't care if the excuse is meth, crack, or your baby mama can't give your baby the proper boob milk.
But mostly what we do is we try and find the rightful owners of those bicycles, and we return them directly to them. I think it's very important for you to realize that we're not sanctioned by any government agency.
We're not even really legal to be doing this, but it's passion. Let's fish.
You want some of this? Thanks! Huh? You want some of this? There you go. Huh? Hey, like that. Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
Agent Hook, Agent Line, and Agent Sinker will find you.
Little fishies.
Fishies. He's getting away!
What?
Big bugs, stealing, get moderately punished and beaten. Let's fish.
Yeah. There's a few dead accounts that I like. Accounts that I just like. Oh, what was the login again?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
all
but
right. I guess it's up online forever.
but once I was gonna say to this point, bring it like back to your podcast, because once you make your brain one that writes sketches,
Yeah.
you're forever doing that.
Yeah.
If you're a creative person, like
Yeah.
Winnie, I was gonna say you should have Winnie on your podcast because she's constantly coming up to me
Yeah.
when I'm fucking cooking and being like, "Okay, picture this." And she like
Nice.
always has a skit. It's so funny, and I'm like, "Sick, yeah, let's do it." I'm like, they're like, "Fucking let's do it." Like when you're basically writing commercials too. You're writing ads.
Yeah.
You're writing scenarios. You're getting in free flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like the more you can write sketches for yourself, it's like an opportunity to show talent.
Yeah.
Too, like once you start shooting down the middle for targets, you're like, oh, and this, like I can show this side of me, like I can do this character or this
Yeah.
impersonation or something. And I feel like those are always the stars in the SNL and stuff who could write a skit to
Yeah.
show who their real comedic brilliance was, like Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, Eddie
Honestly,
Murphy. They were just them.
One of the main things that I want to do with this podcast is just showcase, like, because the Canadian industry is just, it's really, really lacking right now in terms of representation. And like, there's a lot of talented comics that just don't get a lot of shine.
And you got to make your own shit.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of the things that I want to do is just so that it's like, okay, how can I showcase my friends that I know are just such fucking powerhouses?
Bro, I agree with that so hard.
And I think the podcast, as it grows, if we can get some funding for it, then I can just dedicate more time to it and just allow that to be just like a showcase for Toronto comedy. That'd be fucking that would be sick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you?
We all
do
wanna
you
be like
see
Puff Mama a
yourself,
little bit.
Staying in Toronto?
I don't know, because I would love. Obviously I want to go to the States. Just like stand-up wise, I want to go to the States, but also I could see Toronto being like a home base. Like I don't know if I'd have to slug it out in like the New York market. Like, cause I don't know, I'm married. I have kid. Like I'm eventually gonna have a kid like in the next year or two. Like Tisha and I are gonna try, and it's like,
So nice.
I don't know if trying to get into those scenes is going to be as helpful as maybe just developing a fan base online and then visiting those markets.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
a great way, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always be a snowbird. Like, that's the cool thing about Toronto.
Yeah.
World class in the summer, totally cool.
Yeah.
Gets a little cold.
Everyone's gone.
Pack up the fam, just hit up Florida, hit up wherever you're going to go.
Yeah.
Mexico,
If I
Ireland, nope.
could relocate the family to, like if I could take Tisha, and if we have a kid at the time, then I'd want to go to Austin. Austin
Buddy.
Austin looks sick.
Yeah.
Shout out Joe
warm.
Rogan,
For
who
sure.
South by Southwest and Joe Rogan
Yeah.
brought more attention to Austin being the new kind of, if you're a focused artist, go there and hang out and see what happens.
Yeah.
It looks great. It's warm there. They got great talent there.
Yeah.
And it just seems like the place to be, realistic. Like New York seems great, obviously. That's the place to be if you want to become like a great stand-up. But there's so much competition to get into these clubs right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think
Is there a lot of those hustle things like 2 drink minimums?
Yeah, you're goddamn. Oh my god.
That's
Open
intense.
mics.
2 drink
you
minimum.
have.
You sometimes have to pay $5 to just get on stage at some of these places. It's like, oh my fucking god. Like that's
wild.
there's a few mics that started up and then died immediately in Toronto where they were trying to do that like 2 drink minimum. But it's like it's also
I
you
remember
can't do
that.
2 drink minimum in Toronto. Like you can't do 2 drink minimums in Canada.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
If you
like
can't do it in Toronto, you can't do it in Canada.
yeah. I don't think that's a thing you're not allowed to do that
Oh.
business wise. I think there's an issue with that.
Oh.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, I mean, fucking couth-wise.
You're forcing people.
And also, like, comedians, like...
Interesting.
Gosh.
Comics are broke.
They're all, like, they're one of the more brokest people in society.
It's the brokest art form.
It's crazy. And
you're getting them at their lowest.
So I was going to say, like, we should have people like Puff Mama, like, be paid by the government of Canada. I truly believe.
To
like,
have a club? Yeah.
Like, they should pay for a club and give her a salary. We dream about...
The leg is just like... No, the leg of this is just right on the edge
oh,
there.
Look at you, production. Thank you.
Oh, my God. I was like, it's just watching it.
But don't you feel that? Like, that would be so wonderful. Or some sort of private company who just has a ventured interest in, like... good art coming out of a city and that city being considered like a gate, like a Nashville, a New York, an Austin, LA. There is a Toronto. I use Toronto as that in one way or another. Yeah. I also did LA, but like Toronto, I developed myself as a musician. For sure, because the talent is solid here.
Like, it should, honestly, it would be incredible if it would happen, but the problem is that a lot of these grants are all government-based, and they all have, it's all
Sandra's fucking with, you know about this shit? Like, yeah, so it's like, we love that, and we want that work to be done, but that system is already bureaucratically poisoned enough. It's like, we need it almost to come from fucking like Drake himself. Yeah. Like, you know, like an artist, like Russell Peters himself, who just has an extra bit of cash flow that you can allocate. Like, show up, bitch. Like, I'll call myself out in the future. If I'm bagging out billions, I'm for sure gonna fucking put Puff Mama on a fucking $80K salary to run a club.
Did you say billions?
Yeah.
Billions, I think we can stick to millions.
Like, fuck, you don't put a limit on my dreams.
No,
billions.
No, you can get billions, but I'm saying we can help at that millions.
You can help at
mark.
At $1 million. You could still
a million. You could make for a lifestyle in America.
In Toronto, if you had $1 million
annually
to donate. Oh, like if you could donate $1 million to Toronto comedy, it would be just astronomically better.
Like, let someone who already knows, like Mike Rita, allocate it, or a board of legit comedians like yourself.
Be part of this. This is gonna happen.
And this could be a good thing. And where you're just like, hey, you're out here hustling. Are you covering rent with these gigs? Here's fucking $10K this month.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just based on who you know for real and you help. How sick would that be?
Yeah, dude. It's also like, because comics do need that.
We'll take some money. We'll take some money for this fucking podcast. Everyone comes and talks beautiful. I'll fucking, your podcast, we need to get fucking...
Comics should get a little bit of extra fucking cash from the government. Like, because they did it 1 year, but it's like, it wasn't enough. It's like, it's never enough, but it's like that, there was like a grant that came out, which was really helpful for a lot of comics at the time. Nice. But doesn't come around very often.
Was it the grant that Sandra spearheaded? Is that what you're talking about?
Pretty sure, probably, yeah. Yeah, I got a little bit of...
I think she...
thank you.
I think she was able to distribute to quite a few comics.
Mm-hmm. There was...
Not her specifically, but that grant.
There was... I don't know if it might have been her grant, might have been something else, but there has been some push to get, like, pump a little bit of money into Canadian comedy, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. The industry's lacking right now.
What can we do ourselves though? We need to produce our own events. That's what I find hard to do myself, and I'm currently trying to find a venue. But like, fuck, it calls us out. Mm-hmm. I was saying to Win, like, we have to be that much better as Canadian entertainers. Because, like, one, you're fucking nuts if you want to do it and you show up in these circumstances with no real benefit. Like, my biggest event, I'm like, yeah, like, you know, and my buddy's like, what'd you get? And I'm like, you know, like 15. It was a good one. I'm at 1,500. And he's like, K? And I'm like, yeah, you live in another world. Like, this is good. Like, you know, so it's like, and
$1,500? Oh my God. That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
For them to come at it with, like, $15,000.
My guy's in finance though.
Yeah,
I know it made me feel like shit though, because I was like, I did pretty good for 15. It was my like first event, and then he was like 15K. Oh, I do okay. I was like, that's okay.
It's only
I still felt like good.
Not only, but 200 people. That doesn't add up. Like there was only 200.
I know, like the tickets sold.
Yeah.
I know.
How many?
Well, he figured I got more brand money.
Oh.
But I used the brand money to produce the show.
Yeah, for sure.
I paid people. like the
Which
instrument.
is great.
Yeah, I have a band. You
We
know,
love
we
paying
have
people.
comedians. Like we make sure
Nice.
like there's a higher tier on all the comedians.
Yeah.
Like
Fuck yeah.
yeah, we make sure, and also like bar tab. Like you know, like my musicians wanted beers and shit. Like
Was I at this?
Rhythm and Flow at Bar Cathedral.
No. Okay, I wasn't at this one. Sorry. What was the
I
one that we
know.
did at Planet Paradise that you were on?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a
that's
Mike
the
Rita show.
one. Yeah.
That's right.
Done
yes.
by the Muskoka.
Deadcraft.
Mis-
Muskoka.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
'cause
John
you
Fowler in them. What's
you
up?
had known. You knew.
yeah.
You knew the
That's
the whole
where
company.
we saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were so good.
So
Thank
we're
you.
hanging.
I
That's what's up. We've been hanging.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's
Tremendous.
I do definitely
It's a great
think. Do definitely think that Toronto is
Drake, break us off, bro. $1 million a year, man. You
just
can write it off.
$1 million, $1 million.
You would change so many fucking lives.
Holy shit! If you could pump in
Just runway. Here's $10K for the first quarter.
Okay,
Just some runway to live your life.
Okay, we can talk all. We can hypothesize about getting $1 million from Drake, but where do we even invest that? Where does that first go?
Like
Well-
whose account does it go into?
Yes.
Mine. I'm just kidding.
I will be in charge of the finances.
Yeah, no, Sandra. I'd give it to Sandra because she's been doing it. Give it to people who've been doing it.
$1 million in production, for producers. Like where it's like, okay, do you want to start a new show? Because that's what we would need.
So
we would
grants.
need new shows in different areas that are just so untapped. Because you can look at Toronto comedy and it operates in this fucking like maybe in this like just a small corner of the city, like Bloor and Ossington area, and
Dufferin.
then down at like
Yeah, I'd say Bloor to Dufferin.
It's
Like
like such a
Parliament
small strip,
to Parliament to front,
and then
basically.
usually like Eglinton for Absolute. And then
But they're lucky they're on a subway line.
Yeah, that's the only way it operates. And the amount of there's not that many shows that are getting started up right now because people don't know either they don't know how to produce or they don't have the money to produce because there's so much competition in this city to just get people out to stuff that you need ad money.
Yeah.
You need ad money now because people will
Break through the noise.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and shout out to all those people putting money behind their ads. I
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah.
I click on you too. So
Shout out the
good
corner,
job.
Nitish.
Even
doing your thing.
individual
Yeah.
comics too. You know,
Yeah.
people putting money behind.
I push shit
themselves.
behind our shit.
That's-
You gotta
Yeah.
fucking do it.
But
got
yeah,
it.
but yeah, if you
Yeah.
don't have it, then that's rough.
Yeah, it's tough. Like it's like there's a necessary need for just a little bit more shows in the city.
And
Yeah.
that's what I mean. You're that much better when you do show up here. So when you do go states bound or when you do go do a show, Canadians I think are often on point because it's like, oh, I had to do so much for so little it seemed
my
in
God, yeah.
Canada, and then you start, wow, this is really the value of this thing in the world.
You see our best that the guys who break out of here and they go over there and it's like they just start dummying these American comics because they've just been grinding it out here.
That's what
Yeah.
Keith Pedro was like when he was on here. He's like, his episode is called "From Toronto, Bitch," because at a start where he's like, "Fuck staying and mingling. I crushed. You know it. Goodbye." Like,
Nice.
we get like
Nice.
very dominant about it. So
Yeah, like
Bless.
Danny Martinello and Jarrett just moved over there, and like man, they're fucking grinding it out over there, and of course they're two of the best comics we've had come out of here recently, and it's so fucking it's good to see.
Yeah.
dude, it's good to see you out here building your thing and doing your thing.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Man.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I'm so glad we got to hang.
dude.
I can't wait to hear your special.
It's gonna be good. I just got the audio back from the audio master back yesterday. It's good. I'm excited about it. It sounds great. It looks great.
Sick.
Coming out soon. I'm gonna
September 2004.
not put that on it. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping it's gonna be. I'm gonna cut clips out of it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And
good.
we're going to put where to find you in the link below.
Please.
What's your at though?
Max Sheldrick. Just my name on everything.
You want to spell
So go follow.
MaxSheldrick. Yes, sir.
And is there anything else you'd like to say to the people, Max?
that? I know I swung out of here quick because I realized our timing or like it's coming up, but like I
Oh.
appreciate it. It's so nice. I feel I missed
No.
it already.
This was honestly this was a great time. I'm glad
Yeah,
we
this
got
was
to line
fun.
this up.
Yeah,
I
me
had a
too,
great
man.
time. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Appreciate
coming
it.
on.
Yeah, much love.
Anyone watching this? I hope you found some value in this. It's good.
Till
Subscribe.
next time.
Tell a friend. Send nudes to those who you're allowed to. And shout out you're creating.
Bye.
Bye.
Sick.
Dude, crushed.
Guys, thank you
That
so
was
much.
so fun.
Hey, listen, man. We can't smoke on no meds, homie. And I ain't into sports and stuff. So I be putting my athleticism in smoking. Yeah. You know what we smoking on, light it up a Ellevan, flexing with the super strong, puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Gotta cut a smoke alarm, throw smoke rings at the throat like a water gun. You know word like a sing-along, set it, let it be like a bet you betting on. It's a bud throne that I'm sitting on. Phone it in like a telethon, when it's said and done, everyone wanna be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. We be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. We be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Puffing like a smoke-a-thon. I be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Only hitting that hella bomb. Yeah, gotta kill a smoke alarm. We be puffin' like a puffathon. We be puffin' like a puffathon. I'm like bad boy, baby. Puff my main thing. Yes, terps in the nose. THC in my veins. CBG for the highs. CBD for the pain. Shout out every other element that we haven't measured yet, because education has been restrained. Why? I wonder why. Cannabis, this fucking guy, he goes up in the pharma cabinet and says, I'll replace you and take you out the game. Good night, alright. And you fight that have been prescribed. It's time to take a hike vibe and you're gonna kill this guy. Smoke a joint every morning and you'll be fine. The red cherry is where I find the light. You know what we smoking on, light it up a Ellevan, flexing with the super strong, puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Gotta cut a smoke alarm, throw smoke rings at the throat like a water gun. You know word like a sing-along, set it, let it be like a bet you betting on. It's a bud throne that I'm sitting on. Phone it in like a telethon, when it's said and done, everyone wanna be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. We be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. We be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Puffing like a smoke-a-thon. I be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Only hitting that hella bomb. Yeah, gotta kill a smoke alarm. We be puffing like a puffathon. We be puffing like a puffathon. Disciplined stoners out on the scene, matching tracksuits and Jordan 3s. Can't wait to see you and smoke more weed. What's that you got there, a blunt for me? Fuck it, I'm lucky, I love you too. Let's see you all drop some new stuff too. What's there a Sunday on a Sunday cruise? Doing reviews for her next skew. Smoking the fire and we hella blitz. I got my paws on shit nobody gets. Outstanding buds like they came from the drip. Throwing some primo, I'm top of the tip. Never am stiff, I love the community. At an event talking like it's just you and me. Culture and industry making its history. We are just happy to be here and getting so lit. You know what we smoking on, light it up a Ellevan, flexing with the super strong, puffing like a smoke-a-thon. Gotta cut a smoke alarm, throw smoke rings at the throat like a water gun. You know word like a sing-along, set it, let it be like a bet you betting on. It's a bud throne that I'm sitting on. Phone it in like a telethon, when it's said and done, everyone wanna be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. We be puffing like a smoke-a-thon. We be puffing like a smoke-a-thon.
I'm like bad boy, baby. Puff my main thing. Yes, terps in the nose. THC in my veins. CBG for the highs. CBD for the pain. Shout out every other element that we haven't measured yet, because education has been restrained. Why? I wonder why. Cannabis, this fucking guy, he goes up in the pharma cabinet and says, I'll replace you.
Oh, yeah, it's so smoky. We smoked it out. It won't stop because of all the weed being smoked. Oh.
Welcome the disciplined stoners, the gateway drug to mindfulness. Look deeper.
To think that we started this podcast to fight a stigma.
Look deeper.
only to uncover so much love that we realized that you can't put your energy anywhere but what you want. And what we want is authentic conversation. What we want is quality medicine. What we enjoy is each other.
We get to learn from our guests. Manage the best. I would manifest this.
Part of the magic of the plant is how it uncovers what you've been hiding away.
So much love.
Look deeper. Feel more. Tune in.
So much love. Look deeper.
We're not here to be lazy.
Welcome to Disciplined Stoners.
We're not here to distract ourselves.
The gateway drug to mindfulness.
We're here to learn. We're here to grow.